欢迎大家，大家回来。嗯，今天是，今天是，呃一百，140，149，49天，right，49天。So let's get started and hop right into our recall. So today is our second day. It's our pickup day, our moving day for our new vocabulary. And this one was spicy. Funny enough, oh no, not really. It's very different from the traveling, getting around a building thing from our last Japanese unit. So it comes in, and this is 2 stages. We kind of arranged it. I think I arranged it in my head. It was a little bit chaotic yesterday because I was already tired. I'm quite tired. It was our conclusion of our Inktober stuff. So let's see how well I've mapped this out in my head. It does say travel needs. However, I feel that's kind of awfully specific. Like a travel need is if you go to a foreign country, for example, it would feel like you need to understand some of the basic conversation topics, right? That's kind of how I'm connecting all the things. So hear me out here. It'll become apparent when I do the recall. What was the previous unit? School? Or describe people? No, it's describing people. Okay. So, we're gonna start with gun. 跟是什么？跟努力 ，right？努力，努力，跟努力写，写很很很久，很久很久，两个年，两个年，哦，很写，写中语言语言语言语言，和案子案子案子，后来后来后来 发现，发现，发现，发现，发现，谁？谁聘？谁聘？谁聘？提告？提告。Oh, wait, I missed the radical. 提告，提高，提高，提高，考的，考，考的，考的，考的，考的容易，right？容易，容易，right? So you studied for a very long time, right? You studied hard. You studied harder for a very long time, approximately 2 years. Different languages, Chinese, studied Hanzi, and then afterwards you realized that your proficiency went up, and also taking a test, being tested turns out to be quite easy, right? Now with all of that, then we move on to the second half, which was the traveling thing and expressions that 需要 right 需要需要是 right 需要需要行李行李行李yes 护照护照护照签唱 yeah 签唱签唱 oh no with this character 签唱 the Tian, right? What other Tians do I know? Oops. Tian And definitely have these things on top. What happens if I write the right radical? This is does that help? Not particularly. I wasn't expecting to be stuck on this one. Oh wait, I was kind of expecting because it's the first one. And it's not listed. It's not like that, Cian. Oh, it has something to do with hmm. It's not this Tian is not Tian. Oh, because it has face. That might be it. I'm not sure about the top, but I think that looks fine. Yeah. Tian Teng. Tian Teng. 去 安前 安前 legacy 安前 安前 检查检查检查检查检查检查Oh, there might be a line up here. Or maybe not. 检查 检查 oh wait, it's the same character. It's the same one here. I remember that was the mnemonic. It was connecting the two rough ones. But what is it? Oh wait, it's it might be that actually. And I'm not sure if there's a extra. Oh wait, I think the bottom radical is not. No, the bottom radical is off. It's this one. We'll double check this. This one's kind of weak. 检查 and then one 海关 海关 right 海关 and We'll add a few. Right. D tang D tang. Oh wait. How did this character work? It's that D tang. D tang deng 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 qi. How does qi work? Qi qi fei. Right. 去中文中国. I think that's it. Oh no wait. We had other things on Xiao. Almost. And forgot. 忘记几乎 right 几乎 so 几乎几乎忘记忘记忘记other G this G 忘记like ooh. So like don't almost forget you need luggage, passport, right? Luggage, passport, actually passport, visa, right? Visa through security, right? Security, customs, right? And then airport, wait to take off. Obviously you can throw in lots of things like Beiji, the airplane, like boarding the airplane. 上飞机, right? I think that's good. I think we covered all of it. Okay. Unit 41. Unit 41 was describe people. Okay. So I forgot 3 things, I think, yesterday. Start with出中小学 no 小学年级年级I might have to check on tone on that. 年级 I want to say 年级 Is there a dot? Oh no. I don't think so. Doesn't look like a dot. 眼镜. 眼镜. I've got 镜. 眼镜. Yes, right. I only remember the right. Hmm. 眼镜. No, wait. No. It's keen. It's the simplified of keen. And then Kagami. Yes. 眼镜. Die. Die is so problematic. Die. Hmm. Die. Die. Not that die. Hmm. Oh, it's yeah. Die. Yeah. Not sure about this one here. It might be a normal box. We'll see. More descriptors. Good. Good. 强.强. 讲. So 讲大. Right. It's 强 and 讲. 强 and 讲. 讲大. Yo. 左. 小. 老. 老人. Right. 老人. 念轻. 念轻人. Right. Then we walk? No. 老天 chat 老天 How the heck do you 老天 Do you have any unconventional? We know Tien, but don't know. Has a Amago. Like fake Tamago. Lao Tian. Okay. Lao Tian. The other half. The other half is okay. Oh, there's like adverbs. Right? 一个人我还是自己I'm gonna have to check if there's a dot on the top. I think there's an extra stroke too. Oh no, maybe not. 自己一般so general. Oh, the extra stroke. Yeah, 一直 is always. Okay. Teacher. 周围 directions one oh 早 Pao. Let's put in Pao too. Pao. Pao. 前往后往前走，往前走，往右走，右走，往左走 ，and other cardinal directions. 北边 ，right， 北边。南边，东边，西边。I forgot this too yesterday. 米路。路。Yep. I think we're good. Let's double check a few things. That's fine. So it has the stroke. That checks out. Yes, that checks out. What else was I worried about? Oh. Yeah, okay. No stroke on that one. No dot on the top. And yeah, this one has stroke. We're fine. There's something else. Oh, I totally forgot about the order. Order stuff. 先然后最后 okay. Look at them next time. 3 more shots. And then I don't remember the thing I need to check. There was one last thing. It had something to do with the tone on the last syllable. That's fine. I forgot 见面 as well. 见面 and 再见面. Really? Yo. Gotta throw yo in there somewhere. So 5 missing things? Man. Okay. I feel like we had everything here though. This was fresh. Yes. Let's see where we can pick up.
我发现我没有旅游签证。
我发现我没有旅游签着 天长，天长，旅游，旅游，牵着。
由
Okay, that's
牵
yeah. 牵长，
不要带太多行李，
不要带太多行李，不要
不要
不要带
带
太多太多
太多
行李。
行李。
飞机几点起飞？
飞机几点起飞？
他有2本护照。他有
两
本
呢？
他有2本护照。
Oh yeah, Ben, yeah, for counter for book. 他有2本护照。
护照。
Okay, 2 passports I can see.
我
whoops.
我你
你见了我的行李吗？你看见了？
看见了
你看见了我
我
的
的
行李吗？
行李吗？
我们要早一点儿离开。
OK，
我们
要
早一点。
Oh, I forgot about. Okay, I did miss something. 离开 yeah, 离开 and something else actually. So leave. Oh no, it's part of the it's part of the
离开
yeah, 离开 and then that's where 旅行 came in. No, 旅游 came in. 离开离开去旅游 Okay, so I did miss 2 from this unit.
飞机快要起飞了，
飞机快要起飞了。who who
床户
Oh, it's not who. Oh, I screwed up. Okay, so I have the read incorrect on this too. I thought it was 护照. It's 护照. And that's probably because of Japanese. 护照。
这个地方我们不需要签证。
这个地方我们不需要签证。证别离开我。别离开我。
别离开我。
签
周 I really didn't curve the first stroke. 周
户签证请
excuse me.
我
我发现
我
我没有
没有
带 护照，
护照，
护照。
不要
不要
太多，
不要
太多
带太多
行李，
行李，行李。快要飞机起飞了，飞机快要起飞了。Okay, kind of switched them backwards.
飞机
飞机不可以起飞。Oh my gosh. Okay. No worries.
那个地方不安全。
那个地方不安全。I'm kind of curious about the ne versus the na. 那个地方不安全。
海关在哪儿？
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 晚上不要出去，不安全。
晚上不要出去，不安全，不安全。
请检查一下你的行李。请检查一下你的行李。
请检查。
请检查一下你的行李。
一下。
请
警察。Oh yeah， 请检查一下。
检查一下。
检查一下。请检查一下你的行李。
行李，请检查一下你的行李。
Double check your luggage. Please double check your luggage. 海关在哪儿？
海关在哪儿？
诶，
忘
Oops， 查。
我几乎忘记了他的生日。
This is random. I didn't include this. We had a different context for this. 我几乎忘记了
他
的
生日。我几乎忘记了他的生日。
忘，
你的爸爸几乎忘记带钱。
你的爸爸几乎忘记带钱。
几乎忘查几乎减
Oh, 3
正减 查、几
几
乎、
乎、
减、忘、
忘、
正。
正。我们现在需要，我们现要去海关，海关。
我们
们
现在
在
要去
海
海
关，
关。
海关。
他
almost 他几乎迟到了，迟到了，他几乎迟到了，
几乎迟到
了。
了。我们
我们不能。Oh, what can't we take to? Oh, 我们
不
不
可以带什么
不可以带什么
进
什么进什么进安全检查
安全检查。请
请一次检查，
检查
请一次检查。哦，再一次检查。请再检查一次。Oh, come on. Really? So it has to be flanked. 再一次。Interesting. Okay.
请再
再
检查
一次。Okay. Fair enough.
这个
这个工作
不
不容易。
他能说很多种语言。
他能说很多种语言。Actually, I need to understand this breakup.
语言
Okay, 语言
种多种
Okay. I'll put in 多种 into our memory layout.
"这个工作不容易。
Okay.
这个
工作
不
容易。
容易。
你能说几种语言？
你能说几种语言 Okay, so Zhong is acting like Zhong is acting like a counter or like a unit. So it needs a quantifier like 多中 and 几中 like how many type, right? Type of languages, but it's understood.
明天会更好。
明
明天
能跟明天
会更好。
The more modifier, or even better, increase in extent.
我们
we are 我们学
汉语在
我们在学汉语。
意
我们在学汉语。
我们
我们在学
汉语。
汉语。
种，我等你等了很久了。
我等你等的很久了。
明天
明天会
更好。
好。
我认识他很久了。
我认识他很久了。
几乎
千
茶意种，
你觉得学哪种语言最容易？
你觉得你觉得哪种 Okay, yeah, another modifier. 你觉得哪种语言最容
学？
你觉得学哪种语言觉得容易？
你觉得学哪种语言最容易？
哪种？你觉得学哪种语言学最容易？ Oh my god, that's actually kind of like the way the tones are flowing. 我等你等了
很久
了。你觉得你觉得学哪种语言最容易？
语言最容易。
我认识他很久了。
他后来去了台湾学中文。他后来去了台湾学中文。
他后来去了台湾 台湾学
汉字汉字
汉语
中文。他后来去了台湾学中文。他后来去了台湾学中文。
每个汉字都有一个故事吗？
每个汉字都有一个故事吗？ Interesting. Interesting. Does every character have a story?
我想提高英语水平。我想提高。
我想
汉语。英语水平。
我想英语水平
提高。我想提高英语水平。
Okay, so it has okay, fair enough.
明天我要考中文。
明天我要考中文。
努力一点儿。
努力一点儿。Okay. 努力一点儿。
题。
他每天练习写汉字。
他每天练习写汉字。每天 No
我觉得写汉字更难。
我觉得
写水平汉字
写汉字更难。
我觉得写汉字更难。
我觉得写汉字更难。
体
力
户减
有
我努力学习，后来考试考得不错。
我努力学习。我努力学习。我努力学习。考试后来考试不错。我努力学习，后来考试考得不错。考试考得不错。考试考得不错。不错。
签
体
力
努
茶
努力一点儿。
努力
一点儿。
我们
Oh no, I had trouble with this, right? Yesterday? 我们
都
我们 OK. So 我们
汉语水平怎么样？
No, 我们怎么样
提高
汉语水平。我们怎么样汉语水平提高。 It was the other way around. 怎么 Yeah. Same problem as yesterday.
我要明天
我要明天考中文。
考中文
That's BS, actually. That one is the same thing that happened yesterday. I think that's actually BS. I don't know. I feel that one is very suspicious. Yeah, I think that one is suspicious.
后来
后来他去了台湾学中文。
我们
我们怎么样？
汉语提高汉语水平。
Yeah, no,
我要明天我要考
中文。All right, I have 30 minutes today, so let's crack this open. 行李 okay.
礼行
不行
行李
礼仪生
行李
分行
不行
行李旅行
行李行跟离生
行李
马礼行李行
离生哎行李离生
李医生
行李生病李
医生
行李李医生
旅行
李医生
行李李
生病呼叫发现呼叫发现
起飞护照
看过
离开发现
护照发现
护照离开拍照发烧
oh no dude 发烧
护照，发现，
发现，发现，
我
护照，发现，签证，
准
准备
，dang it， 准备 ，oops，
准备
dang it， 准备。Hey, why did I have this before? In the Japanese one? 准备。定位。护照。
下车。
发现。护照。离开。
看过。Alright. 头发。发现。OK. 头发。
头。发现。头发。沙发。
Oh my god. 沙发。
发
烧。These ones are 发现。
头发。
Oh, jeez.
头发。
Dang it.
现金。
头疼。
发现。沙发。头发。
Those are tough. Okay.
拍
照。
护照。
拍照。
照相机。
吃完。
护照。
问题。
护照。拍照。拍照。护照。
香
港。
只要。
照片。拍照。护照。
Yeah, those are tough. No.
现金。
发现。
现金。
现在。
打了。
打了。
发现。
好人。
现金。
发
现。
现金。
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 发现。
看了。往右。
发现。现金。头发。
有时候不需要
不需要，
有时候，
有时候
有时候
不需要
一边
不喜欢，不需要，有时候，
大概
有时候，
有时候
有时信
oops
信后
不需要
不知道不需要
有时候，
有时候
有时候不需要，没有人，
没有人
不想要的时候，
不需要
需要
不需要
太多，有时候
越来越
不明白，
不需要
有时候
看不懂，
看不懂 oops
看不懂，有时候
有时候看不懂What about 懂 I can't really that 懂 yeah
有时候
有时
慢一点，
慢一点
在这里
不需要不需要
上个不
must 一定要不需要
一个人
看不懂，
Yeah, it's the 看不懂
不需要，不健康，一定
要
一定要
不需要
不需要
一定要
对不起
不知道，不需要，一定要1分钟。
Oh, there.
安全检查，
安全检查。Okay.
检查
安全检查
Alright.
检查
检查
安全检查
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
安全检查
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 检查
安全检查
Oops.
检查
检查
安全检查
Trying to decipher some music?
检查
That's interesting.
安全检查
Is how do you go about doing that?
几乎
几乎几乎
几乎几乎几乎
几乎
几乎
What does that mean
几
actually?
乎
I'm not
几乎
exactly sure what you mean by decipher
几乎
some music.
几乎几乎几乎
几乎
嗯，
安全检
检查，
安全检查，
安全检查，
检查，
安全检查，
安全检查
检查，
检查
I mean, like trying to slowly translate the music and learn the words they use. Oh, okay.
安全检查，
Oh, okay.
安全
Makes
检查
sense. All right. I
检查
thought you were songwriting or like musically composing something, like breaking down the music
安全
part.
检查，
It's a good way to learn words, yeah. 安全检查. When you're when you're deconstructing and constructing again, constructing and deconstructing, a task that engages the deconstruction and construction, most tasks, are excellent utility ways of integrating someone's interest into putting forth effort, right, in acquiring information. Okay, 安全检查，
安全检查，
检查安全检查
You're not cool like that. I can't songwrite. Ah,
安全检查，
if you're deciphering
检查
lyrics now, you never know.
安全检查，
You never know, right?
安全检查
You could end up being a
检查
songwriter for
安全
your
检查
target language.
安全检查，
安全检查，
You'll pick up like patterns, right? Like, oh wait, this kind of always goes with this, and this kind of rhymes with this, and this lyric sounds cool, that kind of thing, and you'll build it up. In my opinion, I think oftentimes that's why one of the things about growing up, and then you're passing your opportunity, right? Some things become less interesting after you pass, but having a new target language, that's kind of neat because you get to revisit what it's like to rediscover a language in a context that you may not have picked up the first time you went around, the opportunities to pick it up around the first time.
检查，
Like, I'm terrible with lyrics to this day with English, right?
检查，
Because I didn't songwrite or pay attention to English
检查，
in that way scholarly as I was listening to music. In fact, I was a musician, so instrumentalist. I was an instrumentalist, so there weren't too much singing involved. Your stupid butt is doing anime openings. Hey, if there's anything consistent about anime openings, is that even their lyrics are quite consistent. Even their lyrics are quite consistent. I would not be surprised if you do this for a while, like say a year, you would probably have come up with like, oh hey, you know what? Here are the top 50 phrases that come up. It feels like they always come up. Or like you can like tally up which phrases you are most familiar with, and oftentimes it's probably corollary to how frequent the phrases come up. And then what you can do, in my opinion, I think influencers already did this when they're like really interested in anime, they would make an anime song, like, you know, their own makeshift anime song based on their observations, and they would specifically pigeonhole the high frequency things, and you get the feel of an anime opening for sure. You're already seeing the word kimochi. Oh yeah, kimochi, man. Yes, which means yeah, kimochi. Yeah, you get kimochi quite a lot. That's everywhere. Actually, real talk. Whenever kimochi comes up, it's often a very emotional state. Like incredibly, like it's usually a very it's supposed to heighten. It's a point of heightened emotion. So whenever like a Japanese person, if you find that they're really feeling something, they would use kimochi. You can use other things like jibun, or like not jibun, kibun and whatnot. But I often find kimochi as well. Are you sure? Don't know why. Say, oh no, that's perfectly fine. We're learning Chinese right now, so it could be oddly deceptive. I think you can probably be a great anime open writer if you integrate all your stuff. Milk your efforts. Continue milking your efforts. Chinese is the hardest language, right? Unfortunately, I can't answer that because I only no, I'm an English speaker that is learning Japanese and Chinese, so I can't really tell. I also my family is Chinese, so it's kind of hard to tell you if you're concerned with hardest. It's fun, so it's not hard. Milking your efforts. Gonna start to milking your efforts. Ugh. I feel like that could be taken out of context. Seizing the opportunities. Seizing the opportunities, right? Integrative or multi-layered maximizing, or like return in investments, right? Trying to maximize your return on investment, or something politically extra, I suppose. However, don't stop creating, right? If you think you can do something, look around, in my opinion, and find what else you can make use of it. Because if you're already listening to a lot of music, you might as well categorize some music, or functionally make a tier list which you can share and duplicate. Journal about it, right? There are so many ways you can, meanwhile, while you're doing the translating and doing your Japanese, right? Farming your Japanese stuff, you categorically you're having a lot of exposure to anime. Your anime playlist is quite literally only anime things. you're doing no, that sounds great. That gives you an opportunity, in my opinion, to do something extra about it, right? If your playlist is a lot of anime openings, then that's a lot of experience with anime openings. I know of 2 channels that are nearly, for like 3 or 4 years, exclusively about them curating anime opening. There are events that are completely video editing. So video editing surrounding anime opening. So you watch a lot of anime openings, but then you have a career in visual effects or music production. So then that music production then use anime openings as a leaping point and so on. I feel like I'm listening to comprehension. You feel like your listening comprehension has gone up though, even for words you don't understand. That's absolutely great. There's a very real thing about intuiting and being able to interpret, right? Feeling the interpretation coming on. And I think that's why when you ask if Chinese is the hardest language or something like that, it's hard for me to separate that feeling of like listening interpretation from Chinese that I don't have with the Japanese. I'm doing that. Besides your usual phrases and whatnot, like wakarimashita, right? Whenever you're like, oh, words are coming, and then suddenly someone says wakarimashita, it's like, oh, okay, I know that. Or whenever you hear daijoubu, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, okay. Kirei, just la 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 la, and then kirei just shows up. It's like, oh, okay, all right, something to do with that. And then you can frame, yeah, daijobu. Yeah, daijobu is literally everywhere. Indeed, your anime catchphrases. Chigao, yamete, onegai shimasu, or just onegai, really. Okay, I understand. I totally get it. I haven't, I don't understand. I haven't forayed into music yet. My competence in music is on the instrumental side, so it's very difficult. I haven't skill built yet on discerning lyrics. The closest thing I got to lyrics is poetry in English, and maybe occasional haiku somewhere, but that's about it. When it comes to like lyricism and whatnot.
明天
明天我要明天我要中文考试。我要考中文。And I have 信じる I forgot what that common phrase is. Well, believe me in believing in you as well. It's mutual. keep up the good work. 頑張ってください。
我们
我们 You're only 2 months into Japanese, so you're still a big noob. Well, 2 months is quite a long time. I have yet to even cross a year yet. It feels like I've been it feels like I'm 30 years. Like what I mean is enjoy the time. I enjoyed the time. Hopefully you continue to enjoy, right? Enjoy, and the time will fly. Difficulty, like it's all in my opinion. I don't want to overgeneralize. However, lots of these things become less and less significant of concern when ultimately you're constantly focused on one step forward, improving the experience, because you're choosing to do this, right? Hopefully you're choosing to do. If you have to do this, that might be a different story. But if you're choosing to do this as an extra, like no one's forcing you to do this, constantly making it more and more fun, more and more engaging, thinking about more and more ideas, little by little, not like a lot, but every day, little by little, the time flies, your proficiency goes up. You don't even concern yourself with the proficiency. You get up and you're like, I don't have time to think about what's going to happen. I'm doing this because it's a lot of fun. And the time flies. But yeah, man, I've been enjoying it a lot. You don't study like 5 hours a day or anything, but it's awesome. Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Yeah, I'm sure you have other things to do, right? So, I have to make a disclaimer about that luxury that I have. I'm doing this a very long time because I do have quite a lot of time on my hands in the current moment. So I'm seizing the opportunity.
要
我们怎么
怎么样？
样？我们怎么样？提高。我们怎么样提高汉语水平？
汉语水平
Oh, wait, that's 2? Oh, it is 2. Okay. I thought it was 4. Okay. 水平. How did I screw this up? Oh, 再一次, 请再检查一次。
检一次。
这个工作不容易。
这个工作不容易。So what brings you over to a random person who's learning Chinese at the moment? Well, I guess I wrote Japanese and Chinese, but in that order, I suppose. What do you have anything else? Any other experience that you're engaging with Japanese? Do you have a chance of talking to other people about studying? Do you have a friend that studies with you? You got any other brothers in arms? You wanted to see other people's experience? Have you encountered someone that may be around with your similar interest that you can talk about and stuff? I feel the more you can talk about things, the extra it gets. So like if someone happened to like anime openings and you talk to them about like lyrics and stuff with them, that could be really great. You have some people who are learning. Very nice. Well, there you go. I think that's priceless. That is incredibly serendipitous, as in it's a source that you can't reliably obtain very easily outside of anything else. Like, you know, when you go on the algo and go on the internet, that's readily available, accessible when you can. Other people, not as so accessible. So having some peeps around, priceless. They go a long way. It really reinvigorates seeing other people really doing similar things. 这个工作不容易。So この仕事 I guess the closest is この仕事は優しいです。That's what that's saying. That would be the closest, yeah. この仕事は優しいです。This is 这个工作不容易。This job not easy. Oh, 優しい no, it's 優しくないです。Sorry, 優しくないです。This is there's a negation. So it's actually この仕事は優しくないです。You want to be multilingual one day, you have a few Arabic friends. Oh, you have a lot of friends. It's nice to have friends that are multilingual to make you feel comfortable around that kind of thing. A Spanish friend and a Bangladesh friend. You want to speak their native language one day? All of them? Wow. That's quite a lot. I imagine you're on the younger side, right? I do plan on doing Spanish at some point. My language, these languages haven't changed in my life. Since I was 5 or so, Japanese, Chinese, okay, Spanish came around like high school, so around 14, and English, and those languages have been in my life. Wow. Next to like Cantonese and Fujianese as well. But yeah, I'm specifically learning the language that the people around me, and whatnot. So it's pretty awesome that you have an eclectic group of friends that basically give you an incentive to learn a different language. It's a lot, but wouldn't it be so cool to be able to speak all your friends' native languages? Absolutely. And hopefully those friends would want to do it with you, or be with you in that. Me specifically, I don't have any direct friends that speak Japanese, so that's a little different. I have people who are interested, and then my parents are Chinese. And Spanish, I live in the United States, so Spanish is if I strike up a friend, they probably end up speaking Spanish. In fact, a couple of them probably do speak Spanish. I wouldn't be said friends are teaching you words day by day. Apps, that's awesome. You don't even have to go to textbooks or anything. You have friends. Learn your familec, develop a familec between you and your friends. To heck with proper. Yeah, that's a connection that is very strong. I'm going, yeah, I mean, my parents and I, we don't use English, so there are quite a lot of language barriers. I do have quite the motivation for learning to. This is more at the moment. I think 60 to 70% of it is more learning to read and be literate in Chinese, in Mandarin. It's a lot of fun. Or a lot of fun finally being able to read, put letters and writing to all the sounds that I've been hearing most of my life. Yeah.
老师能说很多种语言。
Don't get me wrong, going to an anime and then just seeing it written out, like, Japanese subtitles, or going to a video game that has Japanese subtitles, it's extra as well whenever you're like, oh yes. If you can't hear your listening comprehension, if it's lagging behind and whatnot, you can still deconstruct it and reconstruct it if there are Japanese subtitles. So like having Japanese subtitles, like Japanese video games have a lot, right? So and even Nintendo games, someone has told me when they were playing Zelda, Nintendo games tend to have furigana with them, so that's kind of neat. So you could play like games in which certainly you might not be able to hear at the moment, but you can reconstruct the sentence if you relying on your reading comprehension. Japanese and Chinese are somewhat similar in some ways. Yeah, they're quite similar in the ways that would probably feel like they're super similar. So for example, the thing that a lot of Japanese language learners focus on eventually, like the thing that is their goal that keeps doing, which is kanji, right? Kanji, the words and characters, like building your kanji. That part has a lot of overlap between Chinese and Japanese. So in the long run, the longer you learn Japanese and then maybe like go towards Chinese at some point, side by side, it feels like that's pretty much the experience. You're always constantly thinking, when you're reading Japanese, you're constantly thinking in Chinese, and when you're reading Chinese, you may find yourself thinking in Japanese. So that's kind of what I'm doing. When I read Chinese, I'm more prone to thinking about it in Japanese than in Chinese, because there's less distance between Japanese and Chinese than, even though I'm learning both of them. So at least you have some leeway when you go, yeah, and you're trying to find you're trying to find an anime that has some pretty easy vocabulary for you to watch without subtitles. Here's the thing. I don't know. Some people said they got mixed results from this. Have you used the JPDB before? Has people already informed you about the JPPD? I don't think its database is that big, and it's in beta, and I'm not sure if it's still supported, but it does have a running database of 1,396 entries. So let me provide you with a link. And the website itself will be self-explanatory. When you're saying you're trying to find an anime that has some pretty easy vocabulary and maybe not so concerned about the quality, like the quality per se, but you can use this if you're not like too picky about needing to engage yourself with the actual, like, the anime that you want to watch. Lots of, I watch anime that I am prioritizing. However, there's this thing where if you're prioritizing a different priority, like the usage, how extensive the kanji is, and etc., you can use that site. I do not know the developer and if this site is continuing to be updated. There are over 1,000 entries in there, though, so you are likely to be able to find something that will match some sort of vocabulary metric. So there you go. Hopefully that gives you something to experiment with. I think the more tools and the more experiment you have, the more diversity that you have, you can't get bored, you can't get tired, you can't get burnt out, sort of, moderation, make sure to rest and whatnot. However, keeping yourself excited and whatnot, always having new tools, it's like a renewed interest. So there you go. And you can look at their anime openings and see if they actually differ. I'm genuinely curious. Here's a question that I would not be able to answer myself because I don't do this. If the anime openings are relatable and more restrictively consistent if you order them and look at them based on their difficulty. So like if you get like let's say a subgenre, like 10 anime that are geared towards shoujo, like 10 shoujo, is there a difference in pattern already between the lyricism between shoujo and shonen shows, right? And then take the shonen group of shows and split them by vocabulary difficulty, and then see if there's a separation or differentiation between the vocabulary and the lyrics that are commonly found, right? So that, to me, that would be an interesting social experiment. That would be a very interesting social experiment. And if you like content creation, right, if you do that, I could only imagine how many people would want to also throw in their hats and do something interesting like that. It's a social experiment. I just to give you a disclaimer, the data analyses and critical thinking stuff, that's kind of what I did most of my life up to this point. So this stuff like designing experiments and stuff to get people to be interested in things, that's kind of something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It didn't quite work out exactly that way, but that's kind of what professors are supposed to do. They're supposed to get you interested in learning a concept by adapting it to something that's relatable to you, so that it feels like you're not actually doing something that you can't relate to, while still you can do something while you can relate to, while also developing the necessary skills for critical thinking. So that's an example. Something that, hey, if 2 years down the line you make a great viral video decoupling that stuff, hey, I would watch it. If not, feel free to stop by and tell me about your interesting discoveries. The more you're able to, in my opinion, the more you're able to share the information and be excited about sharing the information that you discover, the more likely you'll remember anyways. So it's a win-win, right? The worst thing that can happen is the person you're talking to isn't as interested. That's fine. The act of explaining the stuff is going to get you really, really far. Like most of the stuff I learn, if I am unable to express it back or explain it to someone else, then I didn't truly comprehend or internalize it. So that's kind of my plug for teaching. Not literally teaching. You don't have to become a teacher to seize the benefits of talking and explaining something to yourself or to anyone who's willing to listen, right? You can quite literally go to the mirror and talk to yourself and explain to yourself, how do I know this is true? And then you test it and you learn a lot more in the process. That's how I approach the Duolingo experience anyway. I don't necessarily think people approach Duolingo experiences this way, but it's been fun. Right.
老师能说很多种语言。
Are you still in education? I imagine. You strike me as possibly like a senior in high school. Either a junior or senior in high school, so 17, 18, grade 11 or 12. I don't varying plus or minus because you might not be in a country, like countries vary by like plus minus 2 years when it comes to their structure. But it strikes me as a very vibrant younger person, which is honestly, being young is incredibly underappreciated when one becomes older. So
老师能说很多种语言。
老师
老师
多
老师能说很多种语言。
能说 OK 老师能说很多
才多种语言。
多种语言。
他后来去了台湾学中文。
Am I able to converse in Chinese yet? We did a little conversing here and there. It's all good. Yeah. Conversing at any level is conversing. Yeah. It's all good. 他有来他后来去了他后来去了台湾学中文。We had a few opportunities here and there.
你觉得学哪种语言最容易？
Some peeps overseas. The time zone makes it a little difficult. So one would have to get pretty late. Around now would be like sometimes afternoons. Occasional. I did have the opportunity to talk to a very specific person who is post everything that I would be learning here. So they were able to construct paragraphs and sentences and have a conversation fully knowing what I may or I likely would know. And that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it hasn't been that long at the moment for Chinese, right? It's only been 150 days. 150 days is like a drop in the bucket. Tomorrow will be 5 months. No. Yes, it'll be 5 months tomorrow. Not bad, right? Not bad.
你觉得学哪种语言最容易？
你觉得
学哪种语言最容易？
你觉得 Oh, this is a common question too.
学
你觉得学
哪种
语言最容易 So
语言最容易？
So あなた Ooh, how would I say this? あなたは気分が Oh no. Gaigaku? Gaigo? Ooh, this would be hard. I feel like the Chinese is way ahead of the Japanese when it comes to this. This is saying which language do you feel is the easiest to learn, or is easy to learn? Oh, easiest actually, easiest to learn. So maybe like 誰が一番学び No, I don't know that. 安いと思いますか? I don't know about that. Yeah, no, I can't phrase feelings yet. Yeah, I don't know if I can phrase feelings yet. 誰が一番 makes sense. 誰が一番 what is it? 学びやすい. So, super easy to 思い. I used 思いますか? I was gonna use something like maybe to study or something like 勉強します か? And just stick with 優しい. So, どれが一番安いと勉強しますか? Something like that.
我努力学习，后来考试考得不错。
我努力 whatever opportunities, you know, opportunities. I feel if you're forward and direct and constantly, you know, willing to use and construct and circumvent and overcome the insecurities that involve discomfort with maybe people that you're not familiar with, being surrounded by other language learners and friends can offset that insecurity about speaking without full comprehension. I think when someone is monolingual for a very long time, it becomes very hard to overcome that feeling where one can speak without comprehension or without full comprehension. I personally spend most of my life speaking multiple languages in which there are no ways of learning that comprehension entirety. My family and I, we speak a dialect of Chinese that is not formally written or schooled. So when I'm speaking to my parents, I spend most of my time being in a condition in which I speak with partial comprehension. And my parents is constantly in a situation in which they will be speaking with partial comprehension. I spend most of my time interpreting for my parents when it comes to English. So if you got to go to the doctor's office, I'm the interpreter. So and interpreting based on limited comprehension, right? I think that's one of the things that when one doesn't have that insecurity anymore, I would personally say, welcome to becoming multilingual. I don't think, in my opinion, multilingual is some standard in which someone feels that they are competent in every single language, a master in every single language that they have. Multilingualism is when you comfortably can speak a language knowing that you don't know everything and be comfortable with it, and also knowing that you can use what you do know to discover new things. That is the true pocket, in my opinion, for multilingual. So learning another target language, especially a second language for your first time, slowly, I think at some point, in my opinion, that feeling of fluency is when you reach a state where you comfortably use all your resources, regardless if it's complete or not, and you comfortably engage with someone else while discovering and learning in a combination of all the languages that you have. Not necessarily almost exclusively dependent on one, because multilingual implies that you're commanding more than one language. In my opinion, it becomes much more comfortable over time, and I welcome that. Honestly, it's very difficult. It's startlingly different talking to someone who's multilingual and someone who's monolingual, and not in the same sense of difficulty as in we can't understand each other. It's hard to make a connection, an emotional connection with someone, because that feeling does not exist in one side, and that other feeling for the multilingual, it's hard to empathize anymore. Like it's hard for me to empathize very well to someone who thinks that whenever they open their mouth, whatever they say will be like excellent. For me, I have no troubles like trying my best to bumble through Japanese and Chinese whenever the opportunity appears for itself, because pretty much that's how my parents and I communicate since I was ever born, right? Like, since I was born, right? So it's a pretty comfortable state. That's the one experience that I share a lot with other language learners. In fact, there are quite a lot of language learners that are incredibly impressive, and they learned Japanese really, really well. Yet, it's pretty clear that what they want is that they want to be Japanese. So they want to swim and live the Japanese lifestyle. And I totally get that. Or I understand that. I respect that. However, I don't, right? To stay multilingual is to continue learning all your languages. You know, like you don't abandon one language or to favor another language. You choose to bring them all together. So inherently, a lot of times, one of the biggest differences, or for me, one of the most noticeable differences when you're talking to someone who's multilingual minded, but acquiring another language, versus someone who has embraced the idea of what it's like to have multiple languages. You get people who like suddenly speak Japanese every once in a while and suddenly speak English, and like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna say this and then complete the rest in English because we didn't get enough of that yet. Like, you know, 言葉の意味は I don't know this meaning or I don't know. You know, 言葉の意味は learn. I said like the meaning of the word. The meaning of this word, learn. Like I need to learn this 言葉の意味, right? That kind of thing. You say those phrases over and over again. Eventually you get the other phrases, you'll connect them, and that's kind of how I feel about multilingualism. So at some point, embracing that is kind of the gateway, personally. Being someone who is really good at multiple languages, that is exceptional. I don't expect myself to do here's a reflection of someone who has that mind. I've been asked a couple times already, will I ever do a Japanese only stream or a Chinese only string in which I only talk in Chinese and Japanese? The answer is no. It's that's not going to happen, in my opinion. I can talk extensively from place to place in Japanese and Chinese. However, when I learn Japanese, I'm also learning about my English. When I'm learning Japanese, I'm also learning about my Chinese. So they are together. I know I don't stop translating in my head. Unpopular opinion. However, I don't think I've ever stopped translating in my head. Since I was born, I've been around 3 languages, and those 3 languages go back and forth, right? They continue to go back and forth. Is there a preference in language? Yes. However, the act of translating is a very, very normal thing for a multilingual person, at least in my opinion. Maybe some polyglots out there do like the whole method acting or something where they can like completely code swap to one thing or another thing. If it's not language, it's culture. I'm in American-born Chinese, so when I go to a party, I code swap back and forth between different value systems, right? Language to me, that's how I operate with language too. If I code swap to Japanese, I will have other different considerations, and then I can complete them in a code swap for English. So I don't necessarily speak to people in the same way all the time. And I think that's something that got me into trouble a couple of times, because a lot of times people come from a perspective like, what do you mean? Everyone normally does this. Like, why do you speak to me different than the way you speak to that person? Like, well, that person is culturally different from you. They also speak a different language that's reflected by that culture. So do you want me to speak to you the same way I speak to them? Because the first thing that would happen is you're going to tell me you're weird and I don't get what you're trying to say. It's like, exactly. That's exactly the point. Like, do you want to? Because I would totally be game if you come and join me in the Japanese learning culture and speaking, and then become able to empathize with the idea that when you say something like, everyone does this, or that's weird, this is weird, that's a wrong way to say this, that's a right way to say this. Welcome to the world of multilingualism and multiculturalism. The more you get delved into another language, the more likely you're going to reflect on your current language. English, for example. Chinese, to relate it back to Chinese a little bit, Chinese is tonal. And lots of people dread tonality. But English, in my opinion, is already tonal. The idea is the tonality in English is non-functional, as in people don't think it's functional. So why is it non-functional? Well, the tonality in Chinese is to convey meaning or like different words, but they have the same sounds per se. So like T, E, right? However, you do in English, you do this all the time. Bruh, 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 bruh. You do this all the time, but they don't have a functionality that is quite like this at the moment. But English does have tonality. Like bruh, bruh, and bruh are 3 different meanings. They have 3 different meanings. So in English, I've done this before, like most of my life. Thanks, Nojo. Hey, it's been a while, Nojo. Thank you. So here's a great example, and it's a real sort of real example. I review games and write review games. Like I write reviews of games. So review reviews. And that is showing where tonality might be, or this is actually not exactly, it's like stress flipping, but what happens is you're changing where you're rising and falling in the word, right? So it's a reflection of tonality, and you get this everywhere. And the reason why this is important is these are homophones in English. So some people might say, I review games, I write reviews. They're the same. These are the exact same thing. However, if you do it like I do, then you're getting to the point where you probably understand why this Chinese language have tonality. Because, right? Ma, right? Ma and ma, one's mother, one's horse. Right? So that's kind of my banter about that. Pitch accent, right? You have pitch accent for Japanese. So although Japanese also has onyomi and kunyomi to add extra layers of depth. So languages have different depths, and it allows you to reflect on your parental language, or whichever language you're using, right? Anyways,
我努力学习，后来考试考得不错。
我努力学习。后来考试，考试考得不错。I studied hard, and later
他们学中文学了2年了。他们学中
他们学中文
文学
中文学了学了 the separation on this 学了long 学了
2年
了。
他们学中文学了2年了。
他们学中文学了2年了。
说比做容易。
说比做容易。说比做容易。说比做容易。
他能说很多种语言。他说能
说很多
多种语言。
多种语言。What can't we take through the security check? 安全脚检安全检查安全检查。安全检查 我们
我们
我们不可以，我们
不
可以
什么什么
我们不可以
带
什
么
进
安全检查。
我们不可以带什么进安全检查。All right, 15 minutes and a dream. My voice is done
安
for the
全检
day.
查，
安全检查。安全
安全
安全检查，
安全检查，
安全检查
安全检查，
安全检查，
安全，
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 安全检查，
安全检查，
几乎
几乎
几乎，
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 几乎
几乎，
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 检查
安全检查，
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 Oops.
检查
安全检查，
检查，
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 安全检查，
检查，
忘记
忘记
忘记，
OK 记
忘记，
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 忘记
忘记，
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 安全检查
安全检查
检查，
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 安全检查，
安全检查，
检查，
安全检查，检查，
检查
安全
安全检查，
安全检查，
安全
安全，
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 安全
安全检查，
安全
检查OK 几乎
几乎，
几乎
几乎，
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 忘记，
忘记
忘记，
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 忘记
忘记，检查，
安全检查，
安全检查
检查，安全检查，
安全检查，
安全检查，
Oops
检查，
我just
安
screw up
全
one
检
stroke
查，
All of it's
安全
gone
检查，
because it advances a stroke.
安全检
You
查，
tapped in the correct place. Weird feeling. 检查，
安全检查，检查，
Oh, we have 3 characters from here. That's fun.
安全检查，
检查，
安全检查，
检查，安全检查，
检查，
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 安全检安全
安全，安全检查，
全
安全检，
安全，
全
安全检查，
安全，
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 全几乎
几乎，
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 trying to anticipate it.
忘
忘记
忘记，
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 安全检查，安全
安全检查，
检查
检查，
检查，
检
安全检查，
检查，
检查，
安全检查，
安全检查，
检查，
检查，
检查安全
检查，
查
检查，
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 安全检查，
安全检查，
安全
安全检查，
安全，
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 安全检，
安全检查，安全，
几乎
几乎，
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 忘记
忘记，
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 Oh my gosh, that double tap.
忘记，
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 It's kind of annoying, that double tap.
忘记，
Alright. 安全检查
检查，
检查
检查，
检查，
Oh,
检查
oh, you
安
you
全检查，
absolute butthead.
安全检查，
安全检查，
检查，
安全检查，
I saw that.
安全检查，检查，安全，安全检查，
安全，
安全检查，
全
安全检查，
安全，
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 忘记，忘记，
忘记，
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 容易，
容易，容易，容易，
容易，
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 getting access to the other ones.
种，
Don't, right? Don't,
重，
don't, don't,
重，
don't.
重，重， 重，
Why are you saying it like that?
重，
I don't like it.
重，
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 They're so sharp.
重，
重，
It's supposed to be sharp?
重，
重，
Don't. It's Jong. Yeah, Jong.
容易，
容易，易，
容易，
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 易，
容易，
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 容易，容，
容易，
容易，
容，
容易，
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 容，容易，容易，容易，
重，
容，
重，
容，
重，
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 This is gonna get me to
重，
accidentally do a
Zhong.
tone 4.
Zhong.
Actually,
重，
maybe it's tone 4 when it's sitting on. I don't know how I feel about that one.
语言，
Yen. Oh, this one needs help. Yen.
语言，
I need it. I don't
Yen.
get it on the first shot each day.
语言，
Yen.
语言，
Oops. Yen.
语言，
Yen.
语言，
Yen.
语言，
语言，
Yen.
语言，
Yen.
语言，
Yen.
语言，
Yen.
语言，
Yuan. I tend to say Yuan, Yu Yang. Yuan. Yuan.
容，
容易，
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 容易。诶？容，
容易，
容，
容易，
容，
容易，
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 容易，容易，
容易，
容易，
Okay. 重，
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 重，重，重。
All right, that's the end of 15 minutes. So which ones did I miss today? I did miss 2, I think. 几乎 几乎 right? Yeah, 几乎几乎还是 I mean 几乎和 it was tied to 几乎几乎忘记忘记忘记忘是忘记 right 忘记 okay, and then I missed a couple from the top from previous unit as well. 先先先后然后最后 right 最后 that was 3. 界面界面界面再见面再见面有时间 right 有时候再见面 perhaps that's about it for these Chinese sections. Not bad, not bad. Oh, things I struggled with. There were definitely things I struggled with. 眼镜 specifically 镜眼镜镜no. It's in so 眼睛 and 戴戴是戴so those are the worst. What was the... But we really need to nail these down. These two are... They're bad. This one, this unit. What was the stuck? Oh, 尖 yeah, this disappears. He evaporates. Can I dredge it up? Oh, 尖 and then related to this, 尖 is 检查 so 检查 yeah, something about this character. Okay, 检查 cha was fine, but I thought I forgot the bottom radical. Oh, I forgot Leo, or yes, Leo, include Leo. Leo 是 Leo 还是 I mean also离开 that's not the character. That is not it. It's this. 离开 right, 离开 and that's a wrap for today. Alright folks, there you have it. The end of 100 day 149. Had a pretty good discussion. Always fun to meet a up-and-coming language learner. Youth, passion, interest, right? Always nice to exchange ideas, talk about ideas, give ideas, and share ideas, right? It's lovely to hear more and more interesting people who have friends, families, embracing the whole curiosity about being multilingual. I feel there, to me, whenever someone says something like that, there's a silver lining for myself personally. Call it like a selfish bias. This is a pretty much a bias that I have. The idea is when there's an opportunity for individuals, especially in the face of the internet culture these days, it is great to find people exactly like you, and finding resonating and enriched communities. I think the internet has done that almost to a fault, as in it's done that so well that it has become a situation in which it's priceless when you find someone who isn't conditioned to be surrounded by exactly people that agrees with them all the time. Their computer and their algorithm and the software give them exactly what they want all the time, right? That type of thing. Yeah, that was a luxury back in the day, and I totally loved it too for that reason, right? Prior to the internet, the information highway, all the collective community building, and the algorithm-based driven echo chamber stuff, like back in the day, that stuff was non-existent. You had to get along or find that the world is filled with your proximal people, and your exposure is limited in that way. So compromises are made. Communication, problem solving, interpersonal skills, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert or something, the the practice involves communicating between individuals who may disagree or may have similar ideas but different perspectives, that kind of thing. That happened today too. I still relatively believe that I understand the intent. At the same time, I don't necessarily believe that it was like if it was mutual, as in like the other way around. Like, I like to make distinctions where there's also similarities because that's something interesting. Like, and nowadays, at the face of the internet, you get enriched for knowing what you do well and continuing to know what you know as opposed to explore what you don't know. And also have the courage, per se. I don't think back in the day I call this courage, but more of a necessity, to overcome the insecurities that involve being out of your element, right? Being a learner again. And a learner involves definitely knowing what you don't know, definitely knowing that you have a lot to know in the future, and then talking to people who may or may not know something more than you, and also having the patience to understand that if you know something and the other person can't possibly relate yet, time can create opportunities to develop into that. And I would argue sometimes it ends up being transformative in a way that that other person may not even be able to appreciate alone for both the people involved, right? So that kind of thing is pretty sweet. And I think language learning is such a gateway. Regrettably, you know, a little of the silver lining, I think the internet still works incredibly efficiently, so there's a lot of pre-selection. And pre-selection ultimately, to me, amount anecdotally as saying the same things. Very similar contextual points, right? How frequently do I reply to certain things? How frequently types of questions? The great experience about sharing a learning experience with language learning, in my opinion, is if you're a person who sits here and learns publicly in a sense without the emphasis on requiring or forcing interactions, like enriching interactions, I would say you get a random sampling, or over time you might be able to get a random sampling. And sure enough, even through the idea of random sampling, right? Long format, people can't understand you in short formats, so I don't have like some sort of 5-minute plug to explain what I am. Ultimately, the streaming experience, the self-selection, and the many layers of personality pre-selection ends up winning out. So, and I don't think is any short to credit most of that due to the normalized behavior that's involved in the internet, right? How the internet works. How did you get here? Well, I'm glad you are here. It's awesome. Like, I'm glad we are able to spend 5 minutes, if not like 10 seconds, to know that we tenuously exist in each other's pre-selective communities. However, that's as fleeting as it gets, right? You can ignore the people you don't want to see. You can ignore the opinions you don't want to hear. And you can certainly convince yourself that your discoveries may not be felt or interpreted differently from others, right? And learning something often gives that opportunity a break, in my opinion. So, speaking to a learner is speaking to a passionate learner, someone who likes to learn, is substantially different from someone who chooses to learn for the sake of mastering something. So when someone is focused on mastering something, the conversations are incredibly different. Like, oh, you should have gotten here by now, or you should have known this by now. Like, this yeah, you should be doing this by now. Like that's not normal. I think yeah, okay, oh, you're about normal here. That's someone who prefers to master something, right? Like they're in it to refine and become great at it. That's totally awesome. That's a conversation that I will likely have some friction against, because oftentimes there are pros and cons to that person mindset. I do have some familiarity with my younger self, and then also there's a lack of empathy going in both directions. There's a lack of empathy from me because I don't particularly resonate with the idea of doing something for the sake of mastering it objectively in the dependent on other people and whatnot. Instead, I choose to learn something, and as long as I continue to learn something, it is ever rewarding. How much I learn, how fast I learn, comparing apples and oranges when there isn't an obligation to do so. Comparison is someone I need to remind myself to look up that quote. Comparison is, I don't know, the enemy of fun, or I don't know. Comparison destroys hope, right? Especially when it's something voluntary and it's enormously complex as comparing to human situations. So at least that's my take-home message today. I think it's awesome that I even get an opportunity to share an idea that may be interesting to someone. I think that's reward in itself, but at the same time, those ideas were not made possible without someone sharing that idea with me, because I myself don't necessarily have the time or ability to share the ideas that I actually use, or let alone share the ideas of other people. So that's pretty sweet. Like today when I was talking about the JPDB, it's someone who came to the stream, said that they don't really like the way I learn. They believe the things that I'm doing don't work for them and it's crap. So that's why they moved and went on to using this thing. And that's where I got the idea from, right? This person literally came here and told me, oh yeah, this is crap, it doesn't work, that's why I moved on to this. They tried to say it very subtly in a more like beat around the bush way, but it was some passive aggressive plug for their method is great because they found out that the whatever I'm doing is terrible or inefficient and not great by comparison for them, right? For them. However, they didn't specifically say it was unique to them or not, which means that we have two different paths to achieving whatever we want, right? In our priorities, and you can share that to the others. Now, will that other person ever consider my point of view on whatever they said? Obviously not, because they didn't ask for my opinion. That's perfectly all right. I'm here. I made myself available to hear the opinions of others. I will not necessarily, actually, it's going to be fairly obvious, but if you don't ask for my opinion, sometimes when people ask for like recommendation, occasionally I would volunteer, but largely when someone tells me something, I will probably end up playing the devil's advocate and suggest a counter differentiation. The idea is that I'm not trying to exclude whatever the person's sharing. I continuously want to add to it. If someone says these are connected, then I totally get that they're connected. Now, how are they separated or different or distinct from each other, right? And that was my point earlier in Japanese. So I don't think that perspective is going to change anytime soon. And that's a pretty ironic and hypocritical statement, largely due to the idea that I didn't get anything perhaps novel from that person's share. However, I did find that I was lacking in my explainer of how they are distinct while also being different, or distinct while also being related, right? And that helped me understand the meaning of those phrases. Language learning in a nutshell, at least in my opinion. So I'll probably work on that at some point. That's some homework I'm doing tonight. You know, some Chinese homework here, some Japanese homework here. So while on that note, if you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. And obviously I'm gonna do my homework and I'll be back tomorrow. You know where to find me. Always feel free to join along, come along, share experiences. Know that I will likely try my best to challengingly add to something. Because in my opinion, that's what makes learning special. Right? Otherwise, I can agree with you day in and day out. And neither of us would be none the wiser or none the more, interested, right? Affirmation's great. I think the internet is filled with enough affirmation. Having someone to share differing perspective, that's refreshing. And then when the stream goes off for me, that's when I indulge in the affirmation, because the internet has plenty of that, right? So go out there, have fun, be challenged, I suppose. Welcome yourself to occasional spice of life, right? A spice of in some variance and challenge and insecurity, and then chill to some affirmation, hopefully. With that said, 下次再见, right? See you next time. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.